I do think that's why the shift towards DeFi, helped now by central banks moving into stable coins and legitimizing digital currencies, even though that's very different from Bitcoin. I do think we're going to accelerate further and faster into the DeFi world. That too is very exciting. I do believe that what's going on in the bond market, this big surprise, it's really the flip side of the surprise that I witnessed when I first started in the business in the late 70s. I remember I used to deliver, and everything was by hand. There were no computers. In the late 70s, I used to deliver the inflation reading it was the first or second Friday of every month. And my boss at the time just didn't believe the inflation numbers, but the bond market was getting it right. He just didn't believe that the numbers were right and thought they would correct and that the interest rates would come back down. I think we might be on the flip of that right now. The bond market is signaling there are more deflationary pressures brewing out there, we believe, than most investors appreciate. I've just mentioned the good deflation associated with innovation, but the other side of that is creative destruction and the deflation that will hit companies who have leveraged up to buy back shares, manufacture earnings growth, have not invested enough in getting ready for the new world. And believe me, every sector is going to be transformed. And so they will face significant pricing pressure as their products really go obsolete eventually. And then the cyclical deflation. Well, the bond market seems to say this is what's happening. And if that is true, because most people don't believe 1.5% is a real interest rate, they've been normalizing, I think, in terms of the way multiples have worked out in the market, the equity market. They've been pricing or valuing stocks as though the normalized interest rate is somewhere around 4%. What if it's not? What if it is half of that? That would be huge for secular growth companies. Especially because there's going to be so much confusion. You have all of this innovation, which is going to be very exciting. And then you're going to have all of this destruction, which is going to be pretty demoralizing. It's going to be so important to get on the right side of change. So, part of our mission and value is to educate. We know robots are coming to satisfy or to take care of wage inflation problems. Today in our brainstorm, we're talking about robot picking strawberries, and big debate about that. Are we ready for it? And I think we believe we're ready for it. On the oil price side, the antidote to that, electric vehicles at an accelerated rate, almost a self-fulfilling prophecy if the oil price keeps going up. And just a little note for Tesla fans here. It was interesting to see in their sales, which I think were up 84% year over year, certainly taking share from the old world. If you looked at their press release, there was a very interesting picture.
Before we continue, help us by smashing that YouTube like button and subscribe now to this channel. This shows the algorithm that you value the information, and it helps us spread this message. Sharing is caring. Please like and subscribe now. Thank you. And now, let's continue.
It was their semi-truck. Now, this press release had nothing to do with semi-trucks, and certainly not electric semi-trucks. And yet there it was. No explanation, just that there it was. And I do think it's because of some of the Too Simple and the Plus and the Aurora deals that are coming out. And Tesla's basically there just reminding everybody that, these companies think they have an autonomous truck business. Just you wait. And I was happy to see that, actually. And then finally, I just want to, on the crypto side, address a question that we've been getting quite frequently. You can tell how convinced we are that deflation is the higher probability. And we know that's way out of consensus, and that's where we like to be. But many wonder how we could be positive at all about Bitcoin if we're not worried about inflation. Well, I think 08, 09 is a very good reason why. Why did 08, 09 almost melt the financial world down? It did so because of counterparty risk. And what we've just seen in the crypto market is really interesting. It's been cut in half, 2 trillion to 1 trillion, the ecosystem, in the last few months. Just cut in half. Can you imagine what would happen if our equity prices, bond prices were cut in half in the span of a few months with all the leverage out there? I think we'd be in a counterparty risk problem again, a big mess. Maybe not as big of a mess as we were in 08, 09, because there have been some changes. But I do not believe that our financial world would withstand a 50% drop as easily as the DeFi world has. DeFi, while a lot of people who were leveraged 100 times elsewhere in the world were wiped out, I think, now I'm going to get this number wrong, it was either 86,000 or 860,000 accounts wiped out. DeFi didn't skip a beat. I don't think we could say that for the traditional financial world. And I do think that's why the shift towards DeFi, helped now by central banks moving into stable coins and legitimizing digital currencies, even though that's very different from Bitcoin. I do think we're going to accelerate further and faster into the DeFi world. And that too is very exciting. And as you know, if Bitcoin's price on a trend basis, remember, we're still a triple since last September. We may have been cut in half, but we were still a triple since last. And if the price continues to move up, what does that mean? That means increased purchasing power, which is what deflation is. So very consistent with our view of the world.
What to do in such a situation? Inform yourself and keep your financial education strong. We from the Compact Group offer our loyal subscribers a free educational portal with first-hand monetary, financial, and economic knowledge. Enter our invite-only Insider Club by clicking the link below. You will get access to first-class information far earlier than the rest. We have prepared a special deal for all our members where you can access a giant pool of Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom for just $1. To find out more, simply click the link below and join our Insider Club absolutely free. But there is more you can and should do. Build up several streams of income. More and more people realize that they have to take their future in their own hands, but they don't know how and where to start. We from Compact offer our Insider Club members unique opportunities. Strengthen your financial muscle and get the edge. Click the link below. Become part of our free Insider Club. No financial obligations. But there's one important thing you have to know. You have to become active. So do it now. Become active and see you on the other side.